Hi, so I'm here to offer you a little introduction to the film Captain Fantastic, which is set to be the next film along on our film studies journey. So this particular film we are studying for Component 1, Section B, that is American film since 2005. And for this particular section of the exam, we need to study two films, one from the mainstream, in our case La La Land, and one from the independent sector, namely Captain Fantastic. Unlike on Component 1, Section A, Hollywood between the years 1930 and 1990, we are not required to compare these films directly in the way that we're going to be asked to compare, in our case, Vertigo and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. But for the exam, you will have to talk about key scenes from both films within your answer. Remember as well that for this particular section of the exam, the focus is going to be on spectatorship and ideology. So bear those two ideas in mind, particularly as you are watching the film. Now, Captain Fantastic was released in 2016. It was directed by Matt Ross, who may be better known to some of you as an actor. He starred in the brilliant HBO sitcom Silicon Valley as hideous tyrant Gavin Belson, the nemesis of our hero, whose name eludes me right now. But it's a brilliant program. Watch it. Honest. You trust me. You can trust me. Now, from the poster for this film, this family in kind of really eccentric clobber, you might be expecting some kind of kooky, cute, Wes Anderson, Moonrise Kingdom style ripoff. When you start watching and see the first scene, this kind of raw, brutal, savage, visceral scene in which a chap hunts down and brutally, spoiler alert, kills a deer, then you see that we're in for a very different kind of film indeed. And this is a film where not only do we have to think about ideology, it is a film that is very much about ideology. It's a family and a father who have shifted themselves outside of the mainstream of American society, who are opposed to everything that free market capitalism represents. A family who celebrate Noam Chomsky Day, Chomsky being an iconic figure amongst those who believe we're engaged in a war against the multifarious evils of our existing political systems and the media structures that hold them in place. Power to the people, one day we will overcome, brothers and sisters. Think about how the film presents Ben Cash and the values that he upholds and the values that he stands in opposition to. Director Ross, when he was promoting the film, he described Ben Cash as an aspirational father. Would you agree? Do you think the film supports such an interpretation? Think about how it positions us as spectators in response to his children, 1917's George Mackay, amongst them as the eldest looking to go to college and up against the sort of the various temptations that come with being an adolescent, as well as the son who's starting to chafe against what he sees as the restrictions in their unconventional lifestyle, longs for something less out there, something that will, mark him out as less weird than everybody else. It's a film that met something of a mixed response from critics. Many critics absolutely adored it. They loved it, really praised Viggo Mortensen's performance in particular. Some, notably Peter Bradshaw, who's, reliably miserable in The Guardian, absolutely panned it. But think about what might lead to such very different responses. Remember, we are thinking about how this film prompts responses from us as spectators. Think about how the film prompts emotional responses from us. It's a film that wants us to laugh at certain moments, to cry at other moments. Think about how it uses things such as music. There's a very unexpected appearance in a pivotal scene of a Guns N' Roses song. Shout out to Stoke-on-Trent's most favourite son, Slash. Apologies to a couple of his other favourite sons, Robbie Williams and Phil the Power Taylor. So, fire up Netflix, get a pen and paper ready so you can make copious notes as you watch. Remember, we are looking at the elements of film. We're thinking cinematography, we're thinking mise-en-scène, we're thinking sound, editing, performance. How does Matt Ross combine those elements to produce an emotional and a cognitive response from us as members of the audience? So, Hope you enjoy the film. I'll be back at some point down the line to talk more about it, in particular about that ideology and about us as spectators and how we are prompted to those particular responses. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.